Hey guys! For this video, we want to tackle about human muscles. First, we have four properties of muscle tissues. First, excitability. Second, contractility. And the third, extensibility. And the last one is elasticity. Excitability, for the muscle to contract, do work, its cells must be stimulated most often by the nerves supplying them. Nervous impulses cause the release of the neurotransmitter acetylcholine activates receptors on the surface of this muscle cells is result in an influx of positively charged sodium ions into the muscle cell and the depolarization of the muscle cell membrane, which is the resting state, quite negatively charged. If this membrane becomes sufficiently depolarized, an action potential results. The muscle cells is then excited from an electrical standpoint. The second, contractility. In the case of skeletal muscle cells contract when stimulated by neural input. Smooth and cardiac muscles do not require this input. When a muscle cell is excited, the impulse travels along various membranes of the cell to its interior, where it leads to the opening of calcium channels. Calcium ions flow toward and bind to a protein molecule called troponin, leading to sequential changes in the shape and position of the associated proteins, myosin, and actin. The upshot is the myosin binds to small strands within the cell called myofilaments and pulls them along, causing the cell to shorten or contract. Since this is going to simultaneously and in a coordinate fashion is many thousands of myocytes. At the same time, the muscle as a whole contracts. And 3. Extensibility. Most of your body cells lack the capacity to stretch. Attempting to do so only damages or destroys them. Long cylindrical muscle cells, however, are a different story. Muscle cells contract, and in order for them to retain this ability, they must accordingly possess extensibility or the capacity to lighten. Your muscle cells can be stretched to about 3 times their contracted length without returning. This is important because it's a lot of coordinate movements, so-called antagonistic operate such that one is lightening while the other is contracting. For example, when you run, the hamstring in the back of your thigh contracts while your quadriceps are extended and conversely. And the last, elasticity. When something is described as elastic, this is simply a statement that it can be stretched or contracted by some amount above or below its resting or default length without damaging, and that it will return to this resting length once the stimulus for stretching or contraction is removed. Your muscles require the property of elastic recoil for them to be able to do their jobs. If, say, your biceps muscles fail to recoil to their resting length after being stretched during a series of curling exercise, they would become slack, and slack muscles with due tension are unable to generate any force and are therefore useless as levers.
Next, we have the group of muscles. About 40% of your body weight is made up of muscle tissues. Basically, these muscles are used for locomotion. First and foremost, but also for achieving complex and impressive moves, like those involved in martial arts, for example. It is vital to know the major muscle groups, especially in improving your body. Knowing the right kind of exercise for every muscle group can make your workouts much more effective. Keeping a balanced focus on each group of muscles will bring you plenty of benefits too, such as it prevents injuries, improves postures, prevents muscle imbalances, refrain from aches and pains, gets stronger and faster performance, builds muscles faster. To achieve these benefits, it is important to know the body's 5 major muscle groups and their functions. The first one is the chest muscles. The main muscle group of the chest is the pectorals. A well-developed chest is very important because it will add major size to your inner upper body. The chest is a very visible part of the upper body that can add weight and force to all your martial arts moves. Pectorals. The pectorals or peaks are the large chest muscles. They are full of thick muscle fiber and add bulk to the upper body. The chest is divided into 2 parts, pectoralis major and pectoralis minor. They provide support when you hold objects in front of your body, and they are activated when you reach across your body. The peaks are activated many everyday movements, mainly at the shoulder joint. For instance, when you grab a seat belt or comb your hair on the opposite side. Another is a basic task, like reaching into your back pants pocket or to tuck in your shirt. Next, the second one is the back muscles. The back muscles is the most complex major muscular structure in the entire body. It is a perfect combination of multiple muscles working in harmony and complementing each other in various physical activities. The back rises from the buttocks and stretches until the neck and shoulders. There are essentially 5 muscle groups present in the back. They are latissimus dorsi. It is a large flat muscle in the back that stretches to the sides behind the arm and is partly covered by the trapezius. On the back near the midline, it is called as lats or the wings. The lats facilitate the body in pulling movements and complement the arms in pursuing various physical activities like pulling something into your body, or when you take something down from a shelf above your head. Also, they are heavily involved in many swimming movements. Rhomboid. The rhomboids are located in the upper back. They are underneath the trap muscles and not visible from outside. They originate from the spinal cord and merge into the scapular base bone. These muscles can be seen, but they play a vital role in strengthening the scapulae and all the back movements. Trapezius, also known as the traps that are located between shoulders and the neck. The traps can further be classified into 3 divisions: the upper traps, middle traps, and the lower traps, which the lower traps extended as low as the lower back. The traps control the scapulae or the shoulder blades and play an important role in shrugging and neck movements. They are used to tilt and turn the head and neck and shrug the shoulders. They also provide support when you lift items over your head. Teres muscle. This muscle lies underneath the lats. It works with the lats as well as the rotator cuffs. Exercises like single arm lat, pull downs, and fall overs target this muscle directly. Compound exercises like deadlifts, shoulder presses, and rows also target this muscle. Next is erector spinae. The erector spinae or spinal erectors is a set of muscles that straighten and rotate the back. They are actually deep muscles that help to extend the spine and are key in posture. They are also important when bending forward and sideways. The arms and shoulder muscles. Biceps. This muscle is found in the front of the upper arm. The biceps help control the motion of both the shoulder and elbow joints. At the elbow, the biceps are essential and lifting. And at the shoulder, they help with moving the arms sideways, forward, and upwards. Physically, this muscle helps bend or curl the arm toward your body. Triceps. The triceps are muscles in the back of the upper arm. These muscles help stabilize the shoulder joint and allow the elbow joint to be straightened. The triceps are utilized in passing and shooting a basketball and help with finite movements such as in writing, drawing, or even push and pull. Deltoids. The deltoids or delts are known as the shoulder muscles. This muscle group is used on all sides of body lifting motions. They provide support when you carry things and help keep carried items away from the motion path of the things. The deltoid muscle consists of three parts. The first is anterior deltoid. Next is medial deltoid and posterior deltoid. Abdominal muscles. Every bodybuilder's favorite muscles are the abdominals. The abdominals assist in the breathing process and protect inner organs. They are key in twisting motions such as a golf swing or looking behind yourself. They also play a key part in bending over motions and in maintaining good posture. Obliques. The muscle group on the sides of the abdominals are the obliques. Movement of these muscles may result in several actions, but they are best known for their lateral flexion and rotation of the trunk, known as a side bend. The obliques help support the spine from the front. They are also vital in keeping a good posture.
What are muscle fibers? Skeletal muscles are made of individual muscle fibers, and like muscles themselves, not all muscle fibers are the same. There are two types of skeletal muscle fibers: fast twitch and slow twitch, and they each have different functions that are important to understand when it comes to movement and exercise programming. Slow twitch muscle fibers. Slow twitch muscle fibers are fatigue resistant and focus on sustained smaller movements and postural control. They contain more mitochondria and myoglobin and are aerobic in nature compared to fast twitch fibers. Slow twitch fibers are also sometimes called type I or reed fibers because of their blood supply. Fast twitch muscle fibers. Fast twitch muscle fibers provide bigger and more powerful force but for shorter duration and fatigue quickly. They are more anaerobic with less blood supply. Hence, they are sometimes referred to as white fibers or type 2. Skeletal muscles contain both types of fibers, but the ratios can differ depending on a variety of factors including muscle function, age, and training.
The rule of muscles. Muscles fall on the joints, allowing us to move. They also help the body do such things as chewing food and then moving it through the digestive system. Even when we sit perfectly still, muscles throughout the body are constantly moving. Muscles help the heart beat, the chest rise and fall during breathing, and blood vessels regulate the pressure and flow of blood. When we smile and talk, muscles help us communicate, and when we exercise, they help us stay physically fit and healthy. How do muscles work? The movements your muscles make are coordinated and controlled by the brain and nervous system. The involuntary muscles are controlled by structures deep within the brain and the upper part of the spinal cord, called the brainstem. The voluntary muscles are regulated by the parts of the brain known as the cerebral motor cortex and cerebellum. When you decide to move, the motor cortex sends an electrical signal through the spinal cord and peripheral nerves to the muscles, causing them to contract. The motor cortex on the right side of the brain controls the muscles on the left side of the body and vice versa. The cerebellum coordinates the muscle movements ordered by the motor cortex. Sensors in the muscles and joints send messages wrapped through peripheral nerves to tell the cerebellum and other parts of the brain where and how the arm or leg is moving and what position it's in. This feedback results in smooth, coordinated motion. If you want to lift your arm, your brain sends a message to the muscles in your arm and you move it. When you run, the message to the brain are more involved because the muscles have to work in rhythm. Muscles move body parts by contracting then relaxing. Muscles can fold bones, but they can't push them back to the original position. So they work in pairs of flexors and extensors. The flexors contracts to the band aligned at a joint. Then, when the movement is completed, the flexor relaxes and the extensor contracts to extend or straighten the limb at the same joint. For example, the biceps muscles in the front of the upper arm is a flexor, and the triceps at the back of the upper arm is an extensor. When you bend at your elbow, the biceps contracts, then the biceps relaxes, and the tricep contracts to straighten the elbow.
Origin. The insertion and origin muscles are two different places where the bone is attached, one at each end. Antithesis is the connective tissues between these attachments. Origin is the proximal site that stays more stable and relatively fixed during muscles contraction. The head is the promotion at the end of the origin. Muscles where it fixed to the bone. Some muscles, biceps, bronchi, can have more than one head. The insertion muscles are contractions to the bone via tendons. It is the opposite side of origin and is attached to the more movable bone. Thus, this muscle is responsible for body movements. It is usually the distal end and has less mass. Difference between origin and insertion. Origin is relatively the less mobile end of the muscle tendon that is attached to a bone. Insertion is the more flexible end of the muscles that is usually attached to a bone via tendons. There are about 600 muscles in the human body. The three main types of muscle include skeletal, smooth, and cardiac. Skeletal muscle, the specialized tissue that is attached to the bones and allows movement. Together, the skeletal muscle and bones are called the musculoskeletal system, also known as the locomotor system. Generally speaking, skeletal muscle is a group into opposing pairs such as biceps and triceps on the front and back of the upper arm. The skeletal muscle are under our conscious control, which is why they are also known as voluntary muscle. Another term is striated muscles. Since the tissue looks striated, the view under a microscope. Smooth muscle, located in various internal structures, including the digestive tract, uterus, and blood vessels such as arteries. Smooth muscle is arranged in the layered sheets that contract in a waves along the length of the structure. Another common term is voluntary muscles, since the motion of smooth muscle happens without our conscious awareness. Cardiac muscle, the muscle specific to the heart. The heart contracts and relaxes without our conscious awareness.
Pyramid Activity Guide. What is the Physical Activity Pyramid? The Physical Activity Pyramid is the guide that helps adults plan out their physical activity so it becomes an easy, routine part of their everyday life. The Physical Activity Pyramid is similar to the food pyramid, with the bottom containing the largest and most important activities for healthy daily living, and the top containing the less beneficial activities or the things you should do sparingly. The goal of the Physical Activity Pyramid is to gradually increase the amount of physical activity you do and decrease your inactive time. By following the pyramid's recommended activities, people have been able to become more active and create a healthy, beneficial routine that can help maintain and even improve musculoskeletal health and heart health, as well as build endurance. What are the health benefits of physical activity pyramid? Regular physical activity does wonders for your body. Exercise delivers oxygen and nutrients to your tissues and can help your cardiovascular system become stronger and work more efficiently. Even something as simple as going for a 30-minute walk a few days per week can drastically lower your chance for health conditions. We are constantly reminding patients of the importance of daily movement, says Summit Health physical therapist Amit Dhawan. Movement help boost our natural endorphins, improve our mood, promote good bone health, and maintain strength. It also helps with our immune health. Try starting with a simple walk for 20 to 30 minutes a day. Physical activity pyramid levels. Physical activity pyramid levels have first, bottom level or level 1, lifestyle physical activity. The bottom level of the physical activity pyramid contains simple exercises and moderate physical activities that are likely already part of your daily life but are critically important to maintain on a regular basis. Some of the exercises found at this bottom level include walking to the store, mowing the lawn, raking the leaves, mopping the floor, going on a leisurely walk. And next, we have middle levels or level 2 active aerobics. And level 3 active sports and recreation. The next two levels of the physical activity pyramid consist of more strenuous exercise such as aerobics, stretching for flexibility, and muscle fitness exercises. Some activities you'll find here are biking, hiking, dance sessions, jogging, and playing certain sports. The goal is to complete these activities around 3 to 5 times each week. Above these workouts on level 3 lie the activities you should spend 2 or more days on such as a higher intensity workouts, weight training, and calisthenics. The top of the physical activity pyramid, or the level 4 of the pyramid activity guide, was the inactivity. The top of the physical activity pyramid depicts sedentary behaviors that need curbing, such as watching television or sitting at a desk, and exist. These types of behaviors have been linked to adverse health outcomes. The goal here is to recognize those behaviors and replace them with physical health activities found at the base of the pyramid.